So I'm just gonna try and check the tent I'm using jackets a bit. Nice and warm now. Most of these injectors are really nice and tight. Like they're supposed to be. I can see a bit on all of these buttons. You know how good the oil pressure is. So it goes straight down, and I haven't really had a chance to look at it that good. This is a bit annoying, no? Just giving these a small tent help. A bit. Honestly, it's a bit dangerous with the exhaust hot now, but since when am I responsible? Now, that's just a bit heated now, and a bit tighted, sorry. So I don't understand that there now. That there I wouldn't have expected to be so. Don't really. Well, it has a hint of diesel in it. I don't understand why so many of these slack, to be honest. Okay, I don't really understand why, as such. I don't know, but I don't understand why any of them now would actually be giving me like a large amount of trouble. It's running-ish. The brakes are almost working. I just need to. Oh, you know, if I get the new parts for it, that would be a large start. You know, not. It wouldn't be critical to get new parts for everything, but it'd be nice, you know. One of the big things I need to do now is get at least 2 new lugs for the wheel, because if I don't do that, well, it's just not really quite right. Let me see now, how hot is that now? Not there, it's not too hot. In the expansion chamber / I guess silencer, or silencer / really an expansion chamber, because it's got a small amount of grate, or whatever you call it again, I can't remember, in there, but it's not special. Yeah. Thing is another thing now, I want to keep wheels this size on it, because if you look over there, sorry, you'll find that the Fergie wheel is thinner than the Land Rover wheel. And I'd prefer to keep a larger wheel, because again, this is a working tractor, and a Fergie wheel's a bit thin, and I'd kind of like to keep things a bit chunkier on the wheel side if I can help it. Especially if I'm considering now maybe making a front loader for it. Probably more of a modern style front loader than the front loaders that were made for the Fergies back in the day, but you know, imagine a small front loader here, and a nice little cab there. But that's what I'd like, you know. Really endorse my creature comforts or some crap. I will see. Yeah, so I'll just put the jam jar on the exhaust here. Nah. Really, I need to do a bunch of things, including brazing the steering wheel stand. Maybe even welding it, but I'm presuming I'll be brazing it if I will. Because welding casts can be very, very difficult. You can do it. Oh yeah, you can do it. It's just that it's quite difficult. And my idea is now, I might just make a custom exhaust for it with a nice huge silencer, or maybe even just the expansion tank, who cares? Just make a nice, quite big one, and then have the top pipe here relatively tall and thinner. And why I want it thinner? Well, I want it thinner because I want the pressure in here to be higher. Because the idea is when you have a smaller opening, it increases pressure on one side and forgotten again, velocity on the other. Don't care about the velocity, but pressure is nice, because the idea then is you have a nice big old silencer slash more expansion chamber where it kind of with the exhausts of each cylinder, it kind of bounces like you might kick a ball or something, I don't know, and it kind of like absorbs it, and then it more slowly goes out, a bit like a capacitor, therefore giving a smoother out thingy-bob and making things a bit nicer to our ears. Oh, I speak a lot of crap. Another thing, just to show it here, because I didn't do this on video, is I got the levelling bar working. So that's working relatively nice and smoothly. It's not done properly, but I greased in there a bit. I need to grease in here too, but I need to find a grease gun. And I also used a bit of a bucket wire, handle to help that. There. Oh, what is it? Retaining chain or something. Can't remember that either. It's a bit sad really, but there we are. And with a chance now, if I get some of the very cold spray, I can take the top link pin out, because I accidentally broke it instead of being able to get it out. Again, a bit sad, but there we are. So get that out, because either I need loads and loads of heat, which I could probably do with a dab of petrol and a rag, either a lot of heat or a lot of cold just on the pen, because you put a lot of cold on the white collar too, because when you do the heat it kind of like compresses and it'll stretch the outer piece theoretically more than the inner piece, which means that the top link bolt here would stay. It would come out. Oh, I wish I wasn't so dumb. Here we are. See you next time. Okay then, sorry but I haven't shown this. But I can just show this much from now. I think this is my culprit. So I might be lucky enough that the injector pump itself isn't the problem. This now is the through bolt or pipe bolt or whatever you want to call it on the manifold. So this here joins the vacuum pipe that goes to the injector pump manifold, damn it! Or is it diaphragm? Whatever, it's not injectors. So this here now was nastily blocked. Unfortunately the pipe now was nice and clean. But I'm going to try and clean this out a bit more. So point is that this here was really blocked. And if I'm correct now, the pump's natural state is in full throttle, and then the vacuum pulls the diaphragm back to make it dethrottle. So the idea is that now that this is unblocked, it should work properly again. I was just looking around, and I was just gonna check if sucking the pipe was gonna move well, it was possible, how hard it was and all that. I should probably be careful to clean this really good, but I'm just gonna clean it good enough so it doesn't seem all mucky. Cause I think just a bit of dust coming off here won't ruin it immensely. And I think now this is just about getting clean enough now. So that there now needs to go back, and I don't know how I missed that firstly. But I'll take this back round. And you see, too much fuel kind of makes sense, because until it heats up, it doesn't run efficiently at all. And so I left in here. It's right there. And then this goes right up on that. Well, I just dropped the chainsaw file now. Just took it off its handle so I had something to scratch inside. Something small enough to scratch inside with. Kind of surprised that this bolt here would be so dirty, but it's fine. Being a bit of a bugger now. I know you can't see brilliant, but it's more worth getting this done. Than letting you see it. Okay, here we go. That's better now. That seems on relatively right. Let's see about the screwdriver here. Just get the screwdriver and push this brass washer here. Well, brass gasket if you want. It's just about in the right place because I want it to seal properly. And then that's like that. And I get the big end of this spanner. Fits most of these fittings. And just tighten it down nicely. And then that there should work. What's good odd about this. This means I might not have to fiddle with the injector pump at all. It's very likely that I still have to fiddle with it, but there's a chance that I won't have to take it apart. Problem today is that I don't think I'll be able to bump start it. Just this morning, Dad thinks that the bearing on the timing belt on the pickups worn out, which, if you know anything, which I don't, but somehow or another I do know, isn't a good thing, because if timing goes out when it's running, well, I mean proper out, you think that you might have skipped one, which isn't usually end of the world, but it's not good. Like, it runs far worse, and it makes a funny sound and all that. But if it goes to a completely wrong timing, it basically blows up. Well, there's a very high likelihood of that. So hopefully that's our problem, because the point is so my idea on it is now, is the vacuum now, so the more vacuum you have, the less it revs. You know, it could be completely the other way, but I think that's the way it is. So when you've got your throttle right down, the butterfly valve is basically closed, and when you've got it right open, the butterfly valve is completely open, and the pipe is basically positioned right the other side of the butterfly valve into the engine, and then the more vacuum you have in there, which operates the diaphragm in the injector pump to change how much fuel it injects in, therefore changing the well, technically the efficiency of the engine, making it rev less or more. So in these engines now, what happens is they, if I'm right now, they actually decrease the amount of fuel putting in. Yeah, sorry, it's the other way around. God, I'm stupid. To make it go faster, because running it rich burns much colder than running it lean, because running it lean gets very, very hot quite easily. And in my opinion, running something lean would be much more fuel efficient. Not necessarily, well, if it's much hotter, it's more efficient, but that's why the Deutz were so good and so efficient, because they were air cooled, used to be. They could run at hotter temperatures than running more efficiently, because the hotter it is, because in your flame triangle or whatever, it needs heat, fuel and oxygen, or some way or another, and, you know, basically the basic, you know, physical chemistry is when it's hotter, particles are moving about faster, and in like something like wood's case, then we'll say, in wood's case, when it's hotter, the gases come off the wood, so you get wood gases coming off the wood. That's how you have flames. I'm rambling on. In this case, the diesel is vaporized. That's why you have this pipe here. That's a string to vaporize it right into the manifold to start it. And then the heater plug vaporizes it even more and heats up the fuel too, so it gives you a nice good little kick to start it. chance now this will work without having to meddle with injector pump at all. So we'll see how that goes. I'm kind of doubting it'll do much good, but who knows.